You know the day destroys the night, night divides the day. Try to run, try to hide, break on through to the other side, break on through to the other side, break on through to the other side, yeah.
60 years ago, a Southern California band broke on through with a sound that forever shaped American music. In 1965, the Doors started their path towards becoming one of the best-selling bands of all time, led in part by their late singer, Jim Morrison. Morrison is the subject of our latest installment of We the People. It's a series WCTV and our sister stations at Gray Media are spearheading, giving a voice to local trailblazers and innovators ahead of America's 250th birthday. Our Zach Dahlheimer joins us now in the studio after speaking with local historians about Morrison, who at one point called the capital city home when going to school at Florida State. Now, Zach, some are familiar with Morrison's time in Tallahassee. However, historians say part of his story is still a mystery.
Yeah, that's right, Abby, and there are already some items floating around you may be familiar with. Let's first start with this booking photo and arrest record from 1963, when retired police officers say Morrison stole a motorcycle helmet and umbrella from a police car when attending an FSU football game. Then there's this FSU PR video released in 1964, which features Morrison when he was a student before he moved to California. FSU archivists are trying to nail down items to help preserve the Rock and Roll Hall of Famer's time in Tallahassee, including some items linked to him they've never seen before until now.
Name? Jim. Occupation.
From Los Angeles, California, the Doors.
Their psychedelic blues rock sound has moved generations of fans for decades.
I'll keep you wild on the road, you hand upon the wheel.
Among the four founding members of the Doors is lead singer Jim Morrison, a leather-clad poet with smooth and loud vocals and often never short of charisma.
Came along at the right time.
Retired Tallahassee police officers David Brand and Phil Kirikoff are longtime Doors fans.
That portal opened up for him, and then it closed back.
Break on through to the other side.
He fell into the right group of guys to form the band that they did.
Brand has written stories about Morrison's time as an FSU student from 1962 to 1963.
From my research, he was a troubled soul. I read where Jim read Friedrich Nietzsche. Also, he read Aldous Huxley's The Doors of Perception.
People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces
undoubtedly impactful on music.
Fellow musician Rory Grennan is the director of archives for FSU libraries. He's been on the hunt for items to add to the singer's file to help tell his seminal story.
There'd be loud music in the house.
Grennan says some stories in the archives describe Morrison as an interesting classmate and roommate, very smart, while sometimes testing boundaries.
One of the stories that struck me from the archives was how many faculty members he was friends and drinking buddies with.
Grennan says Morrison, however, didn't ever really find a home in the capital city.
He was ready to leave by his last semester here.
The soon-to-be Doors frontman ended up transferring to UCLA and eventually met Ray Manzarek, John Densmore, and Robbie Krieger. But Grennan tells me the late singer still remains a beloved figure on campus.
There are lots of locations in Tallahassee, and especially on campus, that claim Morrison.
Brand says there are quite a few places Morrison is known to have lived around Tallahassee and campus. One spot is near the chain of parks in downtown at the Cherokee Hotel that once stood here along Park Avenue.
His last known address was, I believe, in room 206 on the second floor.
That address appears on Morrison's 1963 arrest record, which Kirikoff says he found along with this booking photo in TPD records several years after the singer left town.
There was a resemblance there. I wanted to make sure, is this the same guy? It was a fun thing to stumble onto.
He had more friends among the faculty than he did among the students, and that came in handy for him.
Also, just 1 year before he became the man known as the Lizard King,
we regret to inform you that we are unable to accept your application.
Morrison appears in this FSU PR film.
But what happened? How come my parents or the state or the university
Didn't look ahead.
That semester, fall '63, where he didn't really want to be here, is when he got involved in theater, which you can see paying off in his later careers.
When you're strange.
But we wanted to know more about Morrison's path through the big band, so Grennan took us deep into the university archives.
This is fall of '63, two-person play, The Dumbwaiter by Harold Pinter. The interesting thing about this, look, do you see who's credited here? Stanislaus Boleslavsky. This is Morrison in this play. The pseudonym is constructed from the name of two famous filmmakers that Morrison would have been a fan of. This is like part of the problem and like trying to get at the historical Morrison in the archives. This guy's not even given his real name when he's on the front page of the paper.
But little did Grennan know, we had a surprise for him. We were able to obtain the transcripts.
Okay.
One James Douglas Morrison.
I have not seen this. He was enrolled as a student in the College of Arts and Sciences. Philosophy of protest. Look at this stuff. A in collective behavior. Clearly had an interest in crowd psychology, right? During his rock career. High marks and race relations, medieval Europe, and short story readings. Essentials of acting, A. Look at all this theater. This is a guy preparing to go to film school. In his schoolwork here, you see the foundation of the career that was to come. This is gonna be great for our subject file. You actually give me feelings about the archives by showing me these documents. The truth is waiting here to be rediscovered, in a way. Always.
All night long.
Truly one of the best.
That was amazing.
Oh, thank you. Well, Morrison died suddenly in 1971 at just 27 years old. The Doors ended up going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1993. And you can read more about Morrison's story and see for yourself how he did as a student at Florida State with this transcript right here on WCTV.tv. But he had quite the story here in the capital city.
That was really, really interesting. And his time in Tallahassee, though short, apparently memorable.
Left this mark indeed.
All right, thanks, Zach. Well, if you have any ideas on our We the People segment, we definitely want to hear it. Perhaps there's a historic person like Jim Morrison, or a place or an event you'd like us to highlight. You can email us your suggestions at the address WeThePeople@WCTV.tv. All right, that's it for us, everybody. That was really cool story. I really enjoyed that. That was really interesting.
It was a fun time indeed.
All right, thanks everybody just for staying with us. Jacob and Julie are next with